New for you at noon, the Fargo Police Department wants you to know about a high-risk sex offender that's moving to Fargo. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kristi Larson. Police say Nielsen Whitetail is now staying at 32 West Limnar Drive in Fargo. Whitetail was convicted in March of 1997 with 5 counts of gross sexual imposition. His victims were 11 and 13 years old. He was also convicted again in September of 1998 in Burleigh County. Well, some new information for you now. 3 adults and a 17-year-old boy are facing drug charges after an early morning robbery in Castleton. The 3 adults arrested have been identified as 23-year-old Traven Tate from Mayville, North Dakota, 18-year-old John Prudina from Hillsboro, and 20-year-old Jacob Devine of Grand Forks. Now, all 3 are charged with possession of a controlled substance, which is a Class C felony. Also developing this afternoon, a Moorhead man is in jail after he led police on a high-speed chase from Moorhead to Detroit Lakes. Investigators say it started around 1 this morning in South Moorhead near Bluestem when a man reported someone was trying to break into his garage or car. Police were called and the chase was on with speeds reaching more than 100 miles an hour. The chase went through Barnesville near Pelican Rapids to Rolog and finally ended in Detroit Lakes, where police say 26-year-old Zachary Rogers ditched his stolen pickup. Now he's facing a long list of charges, including second-degree assault, burglary, and fleeing from police. They also tell us this is an active investigation, that anyone who may have had property tampered with in South Moorhead area should contact police. And Moorhead police are asking for your help to find a missing 13-year-old girl. Twana Moeller was last seen by her family on March 3rd. Police believe she ran away and could still be in the Fargo area or in Kidder County, west of Jamestown. If you have any information that could help them find her, please call your local law enforcement. Well, if you think your Monday started off rough, just be thankful you didn't live in this apartment here. Right around 9:30 this morning, emergency crews had to go out to a complex in South Fargo because a car had ran into the building. A Fargo Fire Department determined no one was hurt, and there's no word from police if the woman who ran into the building will be cited for the incident. We're working on breaking through the clouds again today. Looks like it's pretty clear here in Fargo, but let's check with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Yeah, we've gotten to enjoy that sunshine a little bit sooner today than this weekend in Fargo, at least, but the fog still hanging around other parts of the valley. And I've circled it here on the map where you see that kind of stationary area of gray. That's where those low-level clouds are. There are other clouds in the valley down by Lakes Country and the Wadena area, and then up associated with those very light rain showers that are rolling through. But the visibility still a problem up in the north. We've got 0 still being reported in Hallock, a little bit better in Grand Forks at a mile and a half, and a quarter-mile visibility in Thief River Falls and Devil's Lake and Cooperstown. And so the dense fog advisory that was set to expire at noon, at least part of it has been extended into the 2 o'clock hour because still on the foggy side up north in those areas. Big difference in temperature because of that. We've already seen our temperature hit 50 degrees in Gwinner, where we've had sunshine longer, but in Grand Forks just at 38. More on that forecast coming up and what you can expect for the work week ahead too in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Well, West Fargo is preparing for some road construction to start in April. The city says they are planning a number of projects. The first is expected to start next Monday. Now, crews are scheduled to begin work on 12th Avenue Northeast, where they will be completing a 2-year construction project. Once it's done, the project will have updated the 2.5-mile 2-lane road from County Road 17 to 45th Street North. Traffic will be detoured to 7th Avenue Northeast during the construction. And you can read more on road projects that are coming to the area. Just head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Well, the finger pointing over the failure to pass and replace Obamacare has begun, and the White House is pointing them at the conservative Republicans. Craig Boswell is at the White House with more.
And I think the president's disappointed in a number of people that he thought were loyal to him that weren't.
President Trump placed the blame on conservative Republicans for failing to pass the GOP plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. Sunday, he tweeted, "Democrats are smiling in D.C. that the Freedom Caucus, with the help of Club for Growth and Heritage, have saved Planned Parenthood and Obamacare."
I can tell you, no one has been more self-critiquing than me.
Congressman Mark Meadows, the chairman of the House Freedom Caucus, says he still believes a deal can get done.
Conversations over the last 48 hours are really about how we come together in the Republican conference and try to get this over the finish line.
But Trump administration officials are signaling they may be ready to work with Democrats to fix health care.
I think it's time for our folks to come together. And I also think it's time to potentially get a few moderate Democrats on board as well.
Democrats say they're willing to listen if the White House wants to work on a fix for Obamacare, not a complete repeal.
We never said it was perfect. We always said we'd work with them to improve it. We just said repeal was off the table.
Meanwhile, the Freedom Caucus says it looks forward to working with President Trump on his next big legislative agenda, tax reform. The president wants to cut taxes for middle-class families, lower the corporate tax rate by 15%, and reduce the number of tax brackets. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Well, in other news this afternoon, 8 people were killed in an avalanche that hit Japanese ski resort this morning. Now, dozens of high school students and about 12 teachers had been taking part in a mountain climbing safety training exercise in the Nasu area, which is located about 100 miles north of Tokyo. 2 other people suffered serious injuries, and 36 people were being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Well, Sears, one of the mall's anchor stores, checked out their final customer last night after being open for decades. The company announced that 150 stores will close this spring, which includes 108 Kmarts and 42 Sears locations in 40 different states. Now, the store has been part of the mall since it opened in 1972. 7 stores have closed in West Acres already. Mall officials say the recent closings aren't a reflection of how the mall is doing. They are a reflection of the company as a whole. West Acres has said you can look for some of their vacant spots to be filled this year and next year. They say they're in talks with still to fill those spots with some familiar stores like Build-A-Bear, Aerie, and fast food chain Chick-fil-A. Well, in today's consumer news, Nissan is recalling thousands of vehicles due to a power steering issue that can potentially lead to fires. Nissan recall involves more than 56,000 Murano vehicles from model years 2013 and 2014. The automaker says the power steering hose clamp may not adequately secure the hose, which could allow the hose to detach and leak power steering fluid and possibly lead to a fire if it leaks onto the hot engine or exhaust pipes. Now, Nissan will install a new power steering high-pressure hose kit free of charge. Wells Fargo says all 13,000 of its ATMs have been upgraded to give customers a card-free access. Now, customers log into the Wells Fargo mobile app, select card-free ATM access, and request a one-time use 8-digit access code that they use at the ATM with their debit or ATM PIN. The machines also still accept debit cards. Wells Fargo becomes the first bank in the U.S. to upgrade all of its ATMs with the cardless feature. JP Morgan, Chase, and Bank of America have announced similar upgrades coming to their ATMs. If you have unwanted fees and high interest rates on your credit card, a simple phone call could help. We'll explain ahead at noon. But we do have weather to help you plan your day coming up next.